Welcome to a new video. This video will do this generation thingy that doesn't really make any sense, and I'm getting worked up about it because I hate labels. I like authentic things, and I don't think this is authentic. I think this is just putting a label on, and you're like known by this label, and everyone knows you by this label, which is just so dumb. It's so stupid. I just don't like it at all. And I'm only going to talk about the present and the future of this. So millennials and Generation Alpha, Generation Beta, and my Generation Z, which I am part of. I'm part of this generation right here. But I'm part of here, close to this year, than I am to this year. Like, nowhere near this year. Let's say I'm pretty close, very close, you could say, to this year. Very close. I'm not going to give when, how much, but very close to this year. And right here, this doesn't make any sense to me. And I understand generation-based members want to become adults, but that doesn't make any sense. When in 1997 they became adults in 2015. What? That doesn't make any sense. In 2015 they were 3 years old. How does that make any sense? How does that even make any sense at all? At all. Like, this person could be a child of this person. I mean, it could be if you're like watched 15 I'm pregnant. It would be 16 I'm pregnant. So technically this one we could get, like, it doesn't make any sense, bro. So like 1997, right? I saw some other ones that put 1995, whatever age you put on, whatever label you put on. Cool. What does this separate from this? What does this separate from this? What does when I was born, which would be like not that much, like a couple years. I'm not going to say how much, but like not that much with this. I know people born in this. So what? I'm talking to someone who's a millennial? What? How does that make any sense? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I know I'm getting worked up about this, but it doesn't make any sense. And what's the difference between 2000, someone being born 2012 and 2013? Like, I have cousins that are born in the 2010s. I don't see any difference, any one of them being born because they're born with like iPhones, with the newest iPhones, with the newest tech. They're like the true tech generation, like the true tech generation. Like, they're kind of gonna be born with like AI. They're gonna grow up with probably AI. Like AI. They may grow up, like, not grow up, but like they're gonna grow up into like adulthood with AI, like artificial intelligence. They may. It's a possibility. It's not the truth, but it's a possibility. Possibilities are cool. Options are cool. So they may grow up with AI. When AI is gonna become maybe usable possibility, I'll probably be in my 30s. I would say. I think it's a bit away. It's not a long away, but it's still a bit away. I'm going to be probably in my 30s, right? So it doesn't really make any sense for this generation, or even 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't see any difference between all of these generations. Anything after the 2000, really, anything after 2008, really, 7-ish, I don't really see any difference because they're all kind of growing up in this more modern age. They're growing up in this modern new age where they're kind of growing with things that other generations are not going to grow. And I don't think a person who's born in 2007 will relate to anyone who's being born in 2018, right? But I don't think anyone who's being born in 2007 will relate to anyone who's being born at 2000 and below. Like, they're not going to relate to them, right, as well. So it doesn't really make any sense. I don't think this is the reason why this generation doesn't make sense, because we all grow up with different things. We all look at the future with different things. Everything moves differently for all these generations. Like, for 1997, 2012, they will grow up with different things. And how I'm basing this is based on 15 years. So let's say it'll be 2013 to 2028, right? So we have already kids that are like 9 years old, and then some that are not even born yet. They're not even going to be born in 6 years. How does this even make any kind of sense? Because in 6 years, things could change so much, because the world is changing a lot every day, each day, and it's going to change so much. And I think especially if AI get more and more functionable and more smarter and become more usable throughout, like, taking our jobs and whatever you have, or becoming whatever your opinion is on AI. If it's they're gonna work with us, or they're gonna work against us, whatever your opinion is. How does it make any sense for any of these generations that are gonna grow up? How will they relate? How is someone gonna be relating who's going to be like difference of 15 years who are put in the same generation? I know it's said that the last year of it, but it doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't really make any sense. And this is just the label, right? It is just the label, but these labels don't make any sense. I don't see anyone being born between late 90s and early 2000s. Like, I'm going to say 1996 up to 2001, really. And really that much difference, because I think they grew up pretty much doing the same things. But someone being born from 2000 and let's say from 2001 to 2006 may also be doing the same thing. So it depends where you grew up. It depends what you're doing that time, and it depends on a lot of different things. I think having this whole born thing, it doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It'll never make any sense, because we all do different things. We all develop at different stages, and we all kind of relate to different things. Some will relate to the past, hold on to the past. Some will relate to the present, and some will relate to the future and how to, innovate and invent things. So it doesn't really make any sense of putting. I guess it depends. I guess I get it, because you're kind of like going to school, and some people may go to school with some being born between that age, and even let's count like you finish in school in first year, you're kind of still in the same generation. That kind of does make sense in a way, but this generation will never be in the same class as me. It would never touch me. I will never. That sounds weird. Pause on that. That sounds sus. But I would never get to see this generation be in the same door as me, even. I will see them born, and I'll look them as the next generation that can improve things, that can invent things. I will never see them the same generation as me, and that's just me. You can take what it is. I see them as the next generation, and not a bad thing, and a good thing, that they can do such things. I see someone 10 years older than me, 10, 15 years older than me, of doing something that's more than what I'm going to do, right? That's what I see it. I don't see this generation, and even go on later, 2010s, as the same generation as me. So it doesn't really make any sense. And age is just a number, of course. So I don't mind if I would have been put in the 2040 generation, or, 1994 generation. It doesn't really make any sense to me, because I feel generations can be separated by a lot of different things of how you live and how you develop. So that's another thing. And there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of options, and a lot of differences between a whole lot of different generations. A whole lot of generations. And I know a lot of people would like to put this generation as this generation, and I don't personally see it. I don't really see it, because we all grew up differently. We all going to grow up differently. We're going to grow up with different things and develop with different things, and it's good to see, because I think that's how it should be. I think we should develop with different things, but we also should change our mind and kind of take new things into granted. We should take new things and take new possibilities, and think about these new things and how we can develop into our own lives. We must change our mind. And what I'm talking, we must think progressively, and conclude with different things that we could do and where we can make. We must move with the world. We must create with the world, and we must move with the world, with the ideas it has, right? Obviously, the idea should not possess violence and hate, because then it'll just cause hate and violence, which already been caused and could cause in the future, and we don't want to repeat the past. I always conclude we don't want to repeat the past. We want to move with the ideas that's put forward, which is peaceful ideas, because that's how humans should move. We should move should move in a different scale. Should move. You have that meme of the darkness and the light. You should follow the light most of the time, not the darkness, because the darkness is it's like that social Bob thingy when he goes on the same, he hurts himself over and over again. It's like that's what we do constantly. I think that's a good representation. I think it's a shovel or something. I can't remember what it was, but he keeps hurting himself, or that's pretty much us humans. We keep hurting ourselves, keep glorifying the past and glorifying people that should be not glorified because they were past. They were the past. But that's just my presentation. I don't like this. I don't like these generations and this thing that we do. And I don't care. I know some have 95, 94, 98, 99, 2001, whatever generation this and this leads to. I don't really get it, and I will never get it. I don't think generation hope that when generation Alpha and Beta come in, they're going to remove all this thing. They're never going to see this. Because that's the most important thing. It's not seeing this whole malarkey, because it doesn't represent what you actually are. It doesn't represent authenticity. And I think the problem is this. The problem is these labels. It's like I'm having a label and you label me as a punk rocker, you label me as a rapper, whatever you label me. It's all these labels, rock star. All these labels are outdated. Because nowadays rock and rap and a lot of different genres has changed too. And it will continue to change in the future. Because music is continuing to change too. It's the same as generations are continuing to change. So it doesn't really make any sense of having these age limits, because none of these will relate to each other. But that's just my opinion. Leave your thoughts down below. I don't think this makes any sense. I really wanted to talk about this. I never saw really anyone, much people talk about this. This was very interesting. For me, I'm more, like I said, I'm more of a guy that likes to view in the future and how we can move to the future and how we can create something that's more bigger and grandiose and something that's never been created before, who can help people in different ways, like health or economy. I don't really care about economy, but help us in health or arts or culture or music or whatever it is. It's very important, it's very, very important. To move forwards with different ideas, because if we don't, we keep just glorifying what's been done, which we don't want to do that. Then always, stay cool, don't do whatever you want to do. That's the most important thing as well. And stay connected with whoever you know.